In this video, we're going to explore how to use a Google form to create locks for our escape room. So first, in Google Drive, you'll click on New, More, and then Google Forms. From here, I'm going to give the form a title. And I'm going to click up at the top left corner to make sure that that title actually appears here. What that's going to do is it's going to make it easier for you to search for it. So then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the untitled question. I'm going to start off with my color lock. And it's going to automatically say short answer, but if by chance that doesn't happen for you, you want to click short answer in the drop-down menu on the right-hand side. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to make it a required question. This is important so that students are not able to skip. Next, what we're going to do is click on the three dots and choose response validation. What this is going to do is it's going to make it so that the students cannot continue unless they have gotten the correct answer to the lock. So then from here, I'm going to click on number, and then we're going to change it to say text. From here, what you're going to do is add the text for the correct answer. So in this case, I'm doing a color lock. And I'll sort of get into how you're going to do the color lock in a little bit. But let's just say, for example, that the color lock is yellow, blue, green, yellow. So remember, we're just going to have the four letters. I might also choose to show a description. So click on the three dots and then click on description. And then you would put in something like R equals red, O equals orange. So just giving students a clue as to what their response should look like. So that way your students will know that they simply have to put in the first letter of the color. It's totally up to you how you want to set it up, but I find that this is a good way to avoid misspellings. Okay, so then over here we have the custom error text, and this is where I would put something like keep trying. So if students put an incorrect response, they would be greeted by this custom error text. Okay, so then from here, the easiest way to continue is to click on the duplicate button. And that's because it's going to duplicate all of our other settings. So in other words, it's going to duplicate the fact that it's a short answer question, the fact that it's required, the fact that it has response validation. So anyway, that being said, I'm going to call this one the number lock. And this is going to be a 4-digit number lock. So I would put that here. In the description, I don't necessarily need to put anything, but I could put a hint that it is a year. Whoops. And actually, now that I just erased it, it disappeared. So again, you can click on Show Description. You don't have to have a description, but you can, especially if you're trying to give kids a little hint. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to edit the response validation. So in order to continue, the text should contain 1908. So that's my number lock, 1908. And then if they don't get it correct, they'll see the keep trying as the message that appears. Next, we're going to add a word lock. So again, I'm going to click on my duplicate, and then I'm just going to change it so that it says word lock. And I might specify all caps. And then from here, again, I'm going to edit my response validation. So in this case, my word lock is the word Acropolis. And then from here, what I'm going to do is add my last lock. So again, click on duplicate. And then from here, I'm going to create a directional lock. And again, I might choose to have a description so that way I can say N equals north, S equals south, etc. And then again, I want to make sure that I edit my response validation. So I'm going to put in my answer, which is going to be east, north, south, north. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add an ending question. So if I had students working in either partners or groups, I would want to make sure that I get all of my group member names. So I'm just going to add a question down at the end that says group member names. And that should be a short answer question. I'm going to make it required, but I'm not going to turn on response validation for this because there is no one correct answer. Okay, so now that we have our locks, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the site that we created in the previous video. So here's my site. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Insert tab on the right-hand side, so toward the top right corner, and then I'm going to click on Drive. From here, the easiest way to find it would be to click on the arrow here and then click on Recent, just because I was working on it very recently, and so it shows up as being the most recent thing that I worked on. So I'm just going to click on that and then click on Insert. So then from here, you have the ability to resize it. So right now it's very big. I can click and drag the handles to determine the size. You'll notice that when I make it smaller, it hides some of the questions. So it's totally up to you how large you want to make it or how small you want to make it. But anyway, so that's how you would go about embedding your form on your site. And then in the next videos, we'll be discovering some other materials to embed onto your site.